Well, it's time for a story about diligence. So sit up straight. It goes like this. Drip, drip, drip. Little drops of rain turned into big drops of rain. Big drops of rain formed puddles of rain, and puddles overflowed into streams, and streams turned into creeks, and creeks poured into a lake already brimming over with water. Well, the animals all throughout the forest, they took shelter from the storm, including a family of beavers. They were there inside their warm and secure den. The sound of the wind and the thunder didn't bother them at all. Even the crashing limbs didn't frighten them. They just rested peacefully until they heard the faint sound of water trickling through the dam. Now, water trickling through a dam might not sound like a big problem, but it can be disastrous for beavers. In just minutes, a small leak could turn into a major hole that could wash away the whole dam, ruining the beavers' home in the process. So, one by one, the beavers left their home in the middle of the lake through an underwater passage, and up came 5 little noses to the surface to look around and see the damage. Well, the beavers saw the water was higher than normal because of all the rain, and they swam toward the dam, and that's where they found a small hole with water pouring out the other side. Well, no one had to tell those beavers what to do because beavers are diligent. They immediately plunged below the water and they went straight to work. Now, beavers usually work only at night, and the daytime is meant for them to rest. But none of the beavers rested on the day of the storm. There was too much work and not much time. Well, 3 beavers swam straight to the bottom of the lake and each grabbed hold of a branch with its mouth. The branches were there for just a time like this, when the dam needed repairs. While the first beavers covered the hole with branches, the other beavers scooped up mud from the bottom of the lake and plastered it across the hole. But the dam sprang another leak, so the beavers went to the bottom of the lake to fetch more sticks and more mud. Well, the beavers grew tired and the storm grew worse. But as long as there was work to do, the beavers kept working because that's what it means to be diligent. Well, soon the beavers ran out of sticks at the bottom of the lake, but that didn't stop those beavers. They just swam over to the shore and grabbed branches that were already scattered along the ground. Well, then, the oldest beaver stood next to a tree right by the water's edge. With his sharp front teeth, the beaver started chiseling away at the bark. Chips of wood flew everywhere. Soon another beaver joined the action until they cut a V-shaped notch out of one side of the tree. The oldest beaver took a few more bites and then slapped a warning with its tail. Whack, 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 whack! Well, the tree leaned toward the lake until it crashed into the water. Now the beavers could chew off as many branches as they needed to plug the leaks that were in the dam. Well, the good news is the rain finally stopped. The bad news is the water kept rising. And just when the beavers thought the job was done, a big hole opened up in the lower part of the dam. Well, the youngest beaver wasted no time. With all of its strength, it chewed off a tree limb and dragged it through the water. The beaver's little feet paddled as fast as they could to get over to the leak, which was growing worse by the second. The beaver plunged into the water and swung the branch toward the hole. The water pulled the branch right into place, and without even coming up for a breath of air, the beaver dove down to the bottom to scoop up as much mud as possible to cover the hole. But it wasn't enough. So the beaver went down to get more mud, holding its breath. Back and forth the beaver went, holding its breath until it had to come up for air. And when the beaver came up to the surface, it listened. Would the sticks hold? Would the mud seal the leak? Well, 30 seconds passed, a whole minute passed, 2 minutes passed, and everything was silent. The work was done. the dam held firm, and the beavers were safe. So, remember the beaver's example and focus your effort on the work at hand, because after all, that's what it means to be diligent.